So I really had hoped to avoid talking about the Princess of Wales video with her talk sitting on the bench. But there are so many people making so many ridiculous claims, I felt like I have to do so. I've done so on Black Belt Barrister, but I'm doing a separate video here for Black Belt Secrets, just in case anyone misses it, and I can't just reuse the same content because that would be spam. Because we're here on Black Belt Secrets, so welcome back. If you're new to me, I'm Daniel ShenSmith. I run the Black Belt Barrister channel as well as here Black Belt Secrets. And even if you're not new to me, please do subscribe. About 70% of you don't, and I really hope that you do, because that's my big metric. The number of subscribers lets me know how big of an audience I'm reaching. So please do that. Thank you for that. So some of these claims are outright ridiculous, and I can be a little bit more blunt here on Black Belt Secrets. I think they are appalling, these mistakes. And as I say, I really had hoped not to have to make this video. I've seen lots of other people make them. I've got no criticism of them for making the video and doing debunking videos on them. I had hoped to avoid it because it is pure nonsense. And apologies for the croaky sound. I'm not altogether too well today. But we battle on. These posts that I'm talking about here include this one here. Now, I don't like to attack anybody, so this is not designed to be an attack, but it is quite ridiculous. This post here on X says, the Kate Middleton video is clearly AI, which it isn't, by the way. But members of the public who aren't familiar with the technology will be easily fooled. So it's taking everyone that apparently thinks this is real and calling them a fool, which is obviously nonsense. It says the overly blurred background doesn't move, which is wrong. I'll show you why in a minute. Not a single breeze moving a petal, leaf, or blade of grass. It's clearly not real. And I despair when I read these, but this, you'll understand, has a lot of views. Some of these posts have got millions of views, and so many people will view those things, read those things, and think that that's right, and that the video is fake, which it isn't. This first one that I'll debunk straight away. Now, I had posted on X and put this video as an unlisted video on YouTube on my Black Belt Barrister channel. It's got a few hundred views so far, so people are looking at it, even though it's unlisted, it's going purely from X. But here is the debunking of that. They say there's no movement in the background. My post on X was, you mean apart from all the bugs flying around in the background? And I'll show you. I took a random section of the video, which I've got on screen here, and I recorded it so you can see it here. I then use a red circle to follow one of the bugs flying across the screen so you can see them flying across. Now, if you can't see this, I'll explain why you might not be able to see it in a moment. But here we go. So there you see the bug flying across. Now I trace it with a red circle and replay it a couple of times so you can see the bug flying across. Now, if I grab the timeline here and move it back and forth, you can see, hopefully, in between the bench and the flowers, you can see that bug moving across, because I'm moving the video back and forth so you can see the bug flying around. If you can't see that, it might be a phenomenon as a result of resolution. Now, as a brief explanation, videos recorded are obviously at their own resolution. I record everything here on 4K through my computer, either independently on the camera or directly into the computer. And I upload in 4K. So the people that want to watch it in 4K and they want to watch it on the TV can do so. And it's full quality, at least 4K quality. Full quality would be like 8K or whatever. I don't have an 8K camera. I have no real plan to. I think that'd be overkill for YouTube. But at least for what I do. For 4K, it goes in as 4K. If your screen is not 4K, you can't watch it in 4K. That's as simple as that. If your internet connection is not good enough to stream 4K, then it will probably scale it down automatically. If you're using the YouTube app, it should try to figure out what your connection is and show you the best performance based on your internet speed or based on your preferences. And if your preferences are standard HD, then standard HD you get. And if your preferences are in the advanced section for 4K, you get 4K. And if you don't see it in full resolution, you might miss some of the movement or the detail in the background. That's what comes into play with another one of the videos in a moment. But first of all, just before we go off this video, if I bring it back on screen, you'll see that there's a huge shine on this bench here and reflection. showing that it's either just a high gloss bench or it's one of those sort of plastic recycled ones or whatever. I don't know. It's got a high gloss finish, which is important in a moment. But coming now to another one here, I'll come back to that one. Coming to another, actually, I'll do this one first. Looking at this post here, did you hear video addressing, etc., etc.? Only problem is it's AI generated. There's always artifacts. Here's the point. It says the video is AI generated. There are always artifacts with generative AI. In this case, the stripes on the shirt, that's supposed to say, continue on the bench. So it's saying that because the stripes appear on the bench, that therefore this is a fake video, which is complete nonsense, obviously. If I go back and grab the original video on screen here, you can see down the princess's right arm against the bench, and you can see on the right hand side here, you can see a reflection on this slat on the bench, which, by the way, some people have said as well, oh, these slats are thinner than these ones, therefore it's fake. And it's not. This is simple illusion perspective, or perspective illusion. And obviously, the further away things are, the smaller they look. And with the angle and the distance, they look smaller. That's not rocket science. It's basic science. But look at the reflections here. You can see reflections from the arm of the bench on the slat on the bench. And here on the other side, you can see a reflection on this arm of the bench, which is obviously clearly shiny, which is reflecting off the princess. And here, down the side of her arm, you can see the stripes reflecting onto the bench. If I take the volume away and play this, you will see those reflections of the stripes moving around as she moves about and talks. This doesn't make the video fake. It's not fake generative AI artifacts. That is complete nonsense. However, it doesn't end there. Another claim is about the ring. Now, I have to make clear this is not a claim made by the Daily Mail, whose video has clearly been screen recorded or downloaded in a different resolution or whatever, because you can do that. You can download these videos from these websites in different resolutions, and they're limited. And if you don't see it in the full resolution, you might miss the detail. Some posts have made the claim that the ring that you see here disappears at a point in this video. And if you see here, because of the resolution, as soon as you see movement, obviously with the resolution, you're going to see motion blur. And as you see the hand lift up at this point here, it might at first blush genuinely look like the ring has disappeared. And so some of these claims have said that this is proof that this is fake because the ring disappeared. Now, if I were to take the original video here, which is clearly in a higher resolution, if I put them side by side, you can see here one of them on the left, the one making the claim, is significantly lower resolution than this one. And if I move it to a similar portion here, even though you can still see motion blur in the higher resolution one on the right-hand side, which is taken from the original, you can see that, in fact, you can see the ring in the higher resolution version. And you can't in this one making the claim. Now, you kind of have to trust me that I've watched this all the way through with my attention focused only on the ring. Just because people make these claims, if I'm going to debunk them, I have to watch it for myself so that I am convinced. Not that I, for a moment, thought that there was any truth in the claim, but I'm not going to make the claim that this is false unless I've watched it for myself. Now, I will skip through the rest, but you can skip through here and see that all the way through. I'm scrubbing through the video now. You can see the ring is visible for the entirety. There is no point, even when she lifts it up like this, the motion blur might make it look like might make it look like it starts to disappear, but you can still see that it's there, both in the frame before and the frame after. It is still there all the way through. So this ring doesn't disappear. This claim is ridiculous. So there are all sorts of claims going around about this video. But the reason I make this video and my Black Belt Barrister video is that some of these posts are getting millions of views or impressions at least, meaning a lot of people might actually believe these claims. And I feel it necessary to address them so that fewer people are going to believe it, because hopefully there'll be an overlap of people that have believed it and watched this video and then realize why it's nonsense. So again, I hope you don't believe all of these sort of things without some investigation. And at the very least, even if you don't want to embark on an investigation, you know, is this real, and do the analysis that I've done here, just don't believe it offhand without having done any of that exploration, because many people will look at it and then tell someone else and tell someone else, and then before you know it, there's a whole group of people that believe that this is fake for X reason, whereas there was no investigation and no analysis to prove why it was just a nonsense claim in the first place. So I hope you found that useful. Please do subscribe. I'll see you next time.